Sports with Josh. Sports with Josh, and it's Josh Heavens here once again, your host for Sports with Josh. Before I get started, I want to take a small second and invite you guys all out. A good friend of the show, Daniel Mila, was stabbed a couple of weeks ago at a bar in Oakdale. He's one of 4 people that were stabbed by this guy who hopefully will be behind bars very soon. Danny's in the hospital right now, and he's not doing too great. So we're actually hosting a car wash for him Saturday the 17th from 8 a.m. till 3. We'll be out there all day washing cars. Stop by, get your car washed. Donations are going to be accepted. I'll be out there with Cat Country 103 giving away tickets. I got some Kings basketball tickets. I have some Stockton Thunder hockey tickets, some movie passes that I'm going to be giving out there with Cat Country, as well as t-shirts and other knickknacks with Cat Country 103 and Sports with Josh. In other news in the sports world, Peyton Manning, it's going crazy. Everyone's talking about Peyton Manning right now. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Twitter. I think I've seen some pictures on Instagram about it. Peyton Manning is officially a free agent. The Colts released him this week, ending a 14-year tenure with the Colts. What can we say about Peyton Manning? The guy has more records than an old CD store. He's won a Super Bowl. He's won MVPs. He's been in Pro Bowls. He's broken every QB record that Johnny Unitas set in Indianapolis or with the Colts in Baltimore. He's pretty much broken every single record, and he'll go down in history as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, and he's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. There's a couple teams that Peyton Manning, I would say, are on his A-list, starting with Miami. Peyton Manning has about 3 good years left in his QB tenure as a pro footballer, unless he wants to pull like a Brett Favre and come out of retirement 7 times before he finally calls it quits. Hopefully he's called it quits. But Peyton Manning is a smart guy. Even when he was drafted and the Colts were interviewing him, it's said that he actually interviewed the Colts because he was asking so many questions about the team. This is what he's going to do right now. Basically, Peyton Manning is scouting right now. He wants to go to the team that he's going to win another ring with. He wants another Super Bowl ring, and he's going to go where he can best likely get that ring. Now, Miami is my pick for him. If I had to pick a team, I'd say he's going to Miami. Now, you look at, you got Reggie Bush in Miami. You got a left tackle, Jake Long, a Pro Bowler who can protect Manning's blind side, which is one of the most important things he's going to be looking for. Brandon Marshall, an all-pro receiver who, think about Manning to Marshall. You'd be hearing that a lot if Manning went to Miami. Miami's defense, even though the team struggled this year, the defense was the standout, the lone bright spot in Miami. It's also nice and warm down there. It's hard to get into it that climate really makes a quarterback play better. But if you look at Drew Brees, who played so much better indoors, and going into the playoff game last year in SF, people were saying he doesn't play good outdoors. He doesn't play good outdoors. And sure enough, Drew Brees went and threw 2 picks and lost the game for the Saints in an outdoor field. Miami is nice and warm. At the end of John Elway's career, he went down there and he was talking to Dan Marino, and he said it's so easy to throw down here because the humidity and the warmth in Miami, it keeps your arm warm. Playing in a cold weather, if you understand, if you ever played football or any sport, when it's cold, your muscles tense up. The ball feels like it's a rock when it hits you. So the climate in Miami could also be tempting for Peyton Manning to go down there. Denver is also a front runner to get Peyton Manning. Now, of course, I'm the biggest Broncos fan on the face of the earth. So everyone has been asking me this week, literally everyone, what do you think if the Broncos get Peyton Manning? Now, I am also the biggest Tebow fan on the planet Earth. I love Tim Tebow. I love for what he stands for on and off the field. I think he's a great football player and a great man off the field as well as on it. But if the Broncos got Peyton Manning, I would be so happy because he gives us the best chance to win a Super Bowl. Denver has Ryan Clady, a left tackle that can protect Manning, like I was saying about Jake Long. The only problem with Denver is the receivers. That's what I call them. Now, these receivers have potential, and I think that Peyton Manning would make Demaryius Thomas and Eddie Royal and Eric Decker better than they are right now. But Peyton Manning doesn't want to have to do that. He wants to go to a place where he could just win. Now, he is going to be bundled with Reggie Wayne, most likely, whatever deal he gets. So he'll have some familiarity at receiver if Reggie Wayne goes with him. Also, the Broncos have a great defense that could help out Peyton Manning, like the Colts defense never really did, but he still won a Super Bowl with him. Now, as far as Arizona goes, Larry Fitzgerald would love to have Peyton Manning there because he hasn't played with a great quarterback since he was in high school. And I don't really see Peyton going to the NFC just because Eli's in the NFC and he doesn't want to have to deal with playing Eli in the playoffs. He'd rather just do it in the big dance in the Super Bowl if he has to play against his brother. Now, the Jets are also, I'd call them like a wild card because think about two Mannings in the same city. How awesome would that be? And the Jets have a great defense. The only problem is, again, like Denver, no weapons in New York for Manning to throw to. Getting off Peyton Manning for a minute, I was looking at the free agents in this upcoming free agent period, which starts March 13th at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Listen to these free agents. QBs, Peyton Manning, as I was talking about before, Matt Flynn, Kyle Orton, Chad Henne, Alex Smith, Jason Campbell, David Garrard, Vince Young, Brady Quinn, Rex Grossman. The list goes on and on for QBs, but those would be the top ones. At running back, we got Michael Bush, Peyton Hillis, Cedric Benson, Mike Tolbert, Kevin Smith, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, Tim Hightower, Brandon Jacobs, Joseph Adai, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Ryan Grant. Over at receiver, you have Vincent Jackson, Brandon Lloyd, Marcus Colston, Reggie Wayne, Robert Meacham, Mario Manningham, Randy Moss, Pierre Garcon, Laurent Robinson, Braylon Edwards, Ted Ginn, Plaxico Burress, and Eddie Royal. On the defensive side of things, not as many big names. Mario Williams, John Abraham, linebacker London Fletcher, cornerbacks Cortland Finnegan and Brandon Carr, along with Aaron Ross, and safety LaRon Landry. So this is going to be a great free agent class, almost as good as last year's. And it's going to be interesting to see where all these players go. In other news, Selection Sunday's coming up as the conference tournaments come to the end tomorrow. Semifinals going on right now. Tournaments will be over tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. I want to see who gets the number one seeds. I'm thinking Duke, UNC, probably Syracuse. So it's going to be a great time with March Madness coming up. Can't wait to see what happens with the tournament and with Peyton Manning as well as all the other free agents. Once again, on Saturday, March 17th, we're going to be having that car wash for Daniel Mila. Come and donate, please. It's very important. Danny is a great friend of mine and a softball buddy. I play softball with him out at Big League Dreams. And on behalf of his whole family and all his friends, he has a lot of friends closer to him than I am. And on behalf of all of them and his family, we would really appreciate it if you could come out and show your support for Danny. Thanks again for listening to Sports with Josh. Once again, I appreciate all my listeners. Hope to see you guys Saturday. Deuces.
Sports with Josh.